G'day guys, so I have to make an update on the Armoured Longboat build. Because not 1 or 2 days after I uploaded that video, they removed the ability to place objects on fence foundations, which probably had more to do with other exploits being used rather than the turrets themselves. But it does mean I have to change the build, which is pretty easy to do. Originally I wanted to use the fence foundations to look like oars coming out the side. But it doesn't really matter. A suitable substitute is the giant hatch frames. So in this video I'll just make a quick conversion and see how that affects the build. So you will have to remove everything from this side. So get rid of all the fence foundations. And we're going to have to move the ramp as well. All the slope ceilings have to go or it'll be obstructed. Now 2 giant metal hatch frames on each side, front and back. Half on the boat and half off it. If you put it fully off the side of the boat, the outlet won't reach. Now fill the sides back in with the sloped ceilings. Obviously we're just making the conversion here. If you were to build this from scratch, you just place the giant hatch frames down before the ceiling. And the ramp's now moved up to the centre of the boat. And that's the second side complete. And ready for mounting the turrets. To keep everything symmetrical, pull the turrets in from the corners. Don't put them right on the corner, but put it on the front face. The outlet won't reach the front one if you put it right out on the corner. To reach all the turrets, make sure the generator's pulled as far forward as possible while keeping it hidden under that sloped ceiling. So by using the giant hatch frames, as opposed to the fence foundations, we've freed up 4 pieces. So in this case I've added 2 more turrets to the sides, making 8 in total. But we've still got a few pieces left, so I'll add a few turrets to the top. So a rocket turret in the centre, which are always a pain to get centred. That's good enough. I'll add another turret to the back. And there's still a couple of pieces left, so I'll put a couple of plants on the boat. Now, unlike on land, you can't place crop plots on the sloped sides, but you can kind of stick it onto the junction between the foundation and the sloped ceiling. So it kind of hangs off the side. And that's where I'll leave it. So they have a better chance of hitting underwater targets. And that's it. The boat's maxed out now at 88 pieces. So we've got the cannon and the rocket turret as the main armaments, 9 auto turrets for defence, and 2 plants to slow them down over the turrets. And this one has a couple more auto turrets on the front as opposed to the plants on the back. So there is a slight compromise in the arc of fire underneath the boat as when using the giant hatch frames as opposed to the fence foundations, as they don't stick out as far. But that's compensated by bringing more turrets to bear. Here a mate of mine insisted I make a boat for him to destroy with his supercharged T-Rex. Out of wood, of course. Anyway, what did happen was he broke through the side really quickly and destroyed the wiring inside, which stopped the auto turrets from firing. I'll link to his video down in the description. But the fix for that was to embed the wiring down in the foundation, which I won't show the process, but this is a result. So the 2 foundations behind the rudder are lowered down 1 step, the generator's laid down, The wiring's laid down underneath the foundation, and the foundation just behind the rudder is replaced. The extra piece that's required to do that comes from removing one of the doors at the front into the cannon carriage by just replacing it with a wall. Anyway, here I'll destroy one of the boats with the other one. Obviously, if this was hostile rockets, the auto touch would shoot him out of the sky. But as you can see, if one does get through, the splash damage is very brutal versus turrets. That's why I tried to space them out as much as possible. And there it goes. That last rocket might have actually collected the invisible mast and destroyed it that way, which is still vulnerable. They haven't fixed that yet. If they're ever going to. Anyway, that's it. So this was an update video for the Armoured Longboat tutorial that I posted before, if you haven't seen that one already.